A lot has happened in the past couple days when you look really at the last week of what's been going on in free agency. The franchise tag deadline just passed. The Jaguars decided they were going to franchise tag Cam Robinson for the second year. He was a middle of the road left tackle for the Jaguars last year. He wasn't good, but he wasn't bad. He was very serviceable, and that's really what he's been his entire time in Jacksonville. There's two ways I'm kind of looking at this right now. Is he an insurance policy if they don't get Teron Armstead? And then the other way is, do they think he is their best option? Teron Armstead's getting older. He's starting to have injury concerns. And maybe they really don't like any of these tackles. Maybe they don't see them as the franchise left tackle of the future. And Cam Robinson is just a one-year stopgap option. Maybe Cam Robinson is someone that they can just, decide this year if they really want him or not, because they obviously will not tag him a third year. That's just absurd and unheard of to franchise tag somebody 3 times straight. Instead of a 4 to 5 year commitment with Evan Neal, Charles Cross, Teron Armstead, it's not a 4 to 5 year commitment that would have huge cap implications past 2022. Robinson's cap hit is now $16 million, fully guaranteed against the cap. Leaves the Jaguars with about $38 million in cap space. If Cam Robinson were to sign the tag, it would officially count against the cap as that. It also does until he signs. But maybe it's a tag and trade situation. I don't know. But like I said, maybe it's an insurance policy for Teron Armstead. I've talked about him heavily on my channel as someone I think the Jaguars should look at. And if he is an option, I think absolutely Cam is a tag and trade candidate. There's going to be a lot of tackle-needy teams that aren't going to be willing to move up to the top, probably 7, 8, to get the top 3 tackles. Teron Armstead, if he does come to Jacksonville, takes him off the board. Then you're looking at kind of like Eric Fisher. And I absolutely think instead of giving huge money to Eric Fisher, you could look at Cam Robinson as an option. Give up some picks, get him on that $16 million. Then you can work out your options with him. I do think that would be a huge opportunity for the Jaguars to offload a lot of that cap space as well. Maybe pick up a little something here or there. But this also makes a lot of noise whenever you're looking at the number 1 pick in the draft. It makes a lot of noise when you're looking at their free agency, and it also makes a lot of noise at the draft. Aiden Hutchinson seems like to be the lock of the century now. The second it was announced, it immediately became known, Vegas immediately shot Hutchinson to the top of their betting odds, bumped Neal down. And maybe they're looking at, a Jonathan Ogden situation where, maybe Neal plays left guard for a year. Who knows? This has a lot of weird little twists and turns to it that you can look at from a lot of different angles. Who knows? I'm very excited to see how this plays out. I'm wanting to think about this not as Trent Baalke is screwing things up, but as Doug Peterson has this mastermind plan. I don't want to, on the other side of the coin, I don't want to get myself riled up and thinking about the future of what a head coach that was just brought in is going to do. Because look where that got us with Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer sold us as much snake oil as we could carry. There were some that weren't, but I know I was just screaming from the mountaintops, Super Bowl, here we come. And Urban just completely kicked me off that mountain. So I want to hold myself back from fully committing to the Urban Meyer way of thinking of Super Bowl, here we come. But take it to the defensive side. A lot of wide receivers got tagged, but edge rushers kind of seemed to be untouched. There was not a whole lot of movement at the tag deadline with edge rushers. Chandler Jones still leads the free agency class, bona fide first ballot Hall of Famer. 2010's all-decade team. I don't have to say anything else about him. But there's a lot of other good quality candidates out there. Emmanuel Ogbah is a name that's been just floating around. He's averaged 8 sacks in the last 3 years, 18 quarterback hits in the last 3 years. There's Melvin Ingram, who really struggled after he left Los Angeles for the Chargers. But when he was with the Chargers, he was a wrecking crew. And I think whenever you pair Ingram with someone else, I think you're going to see an improvement. And I do think maybe, put him opposite of Josh Allen and you can get something working there if things don't work out with Chandler Jones. And then there's Hassan Reddick. He is a very oddball, wild candidate to me. He really popped off in 2020. He kept up that momentum. 23 sacks in the last 2 years, 11 in 2021. But his downside is the size. He is literally built exactly like Caleb Von Chason is. Now, on the other side of that, he gets sacks. Caleb Von doesn't. But that size just scares me. I don't like that size. And I do think you're going to have to tailor a defense to him and what he does best. It's not just go get him. It's okay, let's see how we can scheme Reddick into things. Because if we don't, he's not going to get anything done. Obviously, I'm not a Cardinals fan. I don't know a whole lot about what they do with him. But that size just makes me nervous. Now, like I said, the two big wide receivers got tagged. At first, it was Devontae Adams, hoping he would escape Green Bay. He gets franchise tagged. Then it was, okay, we got Chris Godwin. They're not going to tag him twice. He just tore his ACL. They're going to let him go. No, they franchise tagged him after not being able to get a long-term deal done. So it kind of feels weird. I feel like we're right back in 2018. That right after the 2017 season, there was a lot of optimism, and Allen Robinson was a free agent. The Jaguars were in the thick of potentially getting Allen Robinson services in Jacksonville. And here we are again in 2022 with Allen Robinson services hopefully playing in Jacksonville. He is the biggest fish in this free agent wide receiver pool, followed by Chark and probably Christian Kirk. Man, at this point, you almost got to push your chips in on Robinson, don't you? Obviously, Kirk's going to command probably $14 million a year, but if I'm the Jaguars, you have to look at free agency and go, if you can't get Cooper, and if Seattle has shot down every attempt you've made at DK Metcalf, and I've heard reports of Thielen even being available in Minnesota. So if they've shot down all trade offers from that end, you got to push your chips in on Robinson. I don't see a way that you can go into the draft without having a free agent wide receiver, a marquee. I don't want to say, oh my goodness, yay, we signed whoever, we signed the fifth best, we signed Braxton Berrios, yay. No, I don't want to go into I want to go into the draft with Braxton Berrios as our marquee wide receiver signing. God, please no. Let's hope one of those three, Robinson, Chark, or Kirk, would like to come to Jacksonville. Whew, I scared myself there. I hope I didn't scare you guys too bad. There's a lot that's going to happen in the coming days. Monday is when the legal tampering period opens, and it's going to get hot and heavy. It's going to get quick. And I'm excited to see what happens and how quickly this ball starts rolling. Overall, I'm just excited for the offseason. The offseason is one of my favorite times of the year. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it to this point in the video, please let me know down in the comments below. Who do you guys think they're going to sign on day one? Who do you guys think is going to come to Jacksonville in free agency? Now, while you're down there, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel as well as leave a like on the video, as it helps the Fan Cave community grow immensely. And I'm going to be doing a lot of awesome stuff coming towards the draft as well. So be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and go Jaguars.
How about them Jags?